Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We got a quick update for you here with Ark Raiders and the launch trailer. If you saw it, great. If not, you should go check it out. We'll throw a link down in the description. It's pretty cool. Building hype for the launch on the 30th. But there's some pretty interesting details that I wanted to point out to some of you that you might not have seen. So let's hop in and watch the trailer and show you guys what it's all about. Okay, so again, go watch this all the way through so you don't have to necessarily listen to me yapping, but let's go over some of the finer points of things that are going to show up in here that I want to point out. Now, right out the gate, we're going to get a view of dam. And the thing that stands out to me is these huge Ark walking in the back. Now, if we've seen these in previous cutscenes, and if you notice when you're doing the tutorial section, when you first start the game, there's one of these walking in the background. Now, it's hard to tell, are these things going to be part of the story? Is this going to be something we can interact with? Are these just assets off in the distance that just kind of add background to it? I don't know. But this is the first time we've seen two of them. Maybe these are the things that drop off the harvesters. It's hard to say, but it was notable that they were right there in the background.
Closing in 5.
Action and build up for everything. And then we're right into our next really interesting piece. This is Blue Gate, the new map. And you can see how expansive this is. Now, it's hard to say whether it's going to go all the way down here and be part of the river. I would say probably not, just based on the map sizes we have. But it's going to be all of this for sure. And I'm sure there's probably stuff off to the right or something we can't see. Blue Gate is a entrance kind of thing. So we'll just have to wait and see what else there is. But I'm excited. Big open map, super cool looking. Pretty gorgeous too with the mountains and everything else. The next bit of it is also Blue Gate, but this is something that's interesting here. This is going to be some form of extract, a different kind, right? So we have subways, raider hatch keys, and then the elevators, which based on the map and what you have. Now there is a picture, I'll bring this over, from Embark that showed the extracts, and here it is right here. A better picture of it, or Blue Gate, of how we're going to extract and how you're going to use this. It's kind of interesting. It'll be a pretty exciting first thing for people to figure out once they get into a raid and have to figure out how to use that.
It ended.
Not much here, kind of cinematic stuff.
Who forgot how
going
to
down into
again.
Speranza. Turn the volume down here a bit. I imagine this is just all stuff we'll see a little bit of in the game.
Think fast.
Now, I want to point, a lot of people are talking about these, and these are barons. At least some of them are. And these are probably, I don't know if we're ever going to see these, because the way the lore works in Ark is when the Ark first showed up a long time ago, whenever that was, year-wise, I don't know, just a long time ago, they were rudimentary and they've advanced since then. So all of these older Arks, these barons and stuff, are probably previous kind of Ark that they're not going to show up because they advanced past that. I could be wrong, but it's kind of what I think about. A lot of people are wondering if we're ever going to see a baron in the game, and I don't think so. Just because the way that lore all plays out. So wanted to point that out.
Be ready to change your mind.
Now this is pretty cool. This is like one of the nicest, cleanest facilities we've seen. You know, this makes me think of Spaceport or something because of how all of these look like space modules, though we never saw anything like this in Spaceport. So it could be a new area. It could be, it's hard to say exactly, but like this is super un-Ark Raiders-y because it's so clean and nice. So that's real interesting. It's going to be kind of interesting to find this place, whether it's in Blue Gate or maybe it's a new part of the Spaceport.
Up there, the roads are twisted. The rules are gone. But if you were brave enough to wander and seek, who knows what you might find.
All pretty familiar stuff we've seen. Queen. Now this is cool. These are some more like advanced kind of Ark Raiders outfits. I'm digging these. I love the post-apocalyptic kind of scrap together stuff, but these kind of give a Destiny vibe almost, or some other stuff, and I like that. Those are kind of cool. Interested to see when we can pick those up. A lot of people notice this. This is some kind of fur hat, if you will. So there's going to be some interesting clothing for sure in the game. I think this is Blue Gate, just because of the way it looks. It doesn't look like any of the other maps. but I could be wrong. This is also Blue Gate. Now, here's the interesting thing. We have a screenshot of this from this is from one of the trailers. I think this was a Server Slam trailer. Maybe it was right before it, but this is where the first part we got a look at a bombardier being called in with a scout. It's the same location. If you look here, this is the same thing as we have right here, except we have snow. So this is teasing some of the stuff we have coming potentially with weather and changing conditions. So I'm wondering, you know, we're going to get the game on launch on the 30th. I'm wondering if we're going to go a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then we get snow on some of the maps. That'd be really interesting. I don't know the elevation or how it would work if we'll get snow on all the maps. I bet the desert map, we don't get snow. Probably not, maybe not. But we'll just have to wait and see what they do. Action scene, raiders fighting each other. And then we're going to flip through the maps. Buried City, and you got the spaceport and dam and spaceport again and dam. Now this is an interesting thing. Now I don't know if this is something you could do before. If you could, I missed it. If you look here, this guy's using the zip line thingy, the snap hook, I think is what it's called. He's actually hooking to I believe that's a hornet or a wasp. That's a wasp, maybe hornet, wasp. I don't remember. I get it mixed up. The one that doesn't have shielded, the one that shoots guns and not tasers, but he actually pulls it to him. So that's interesting. I don't know if you could do that before, but imagine hooking onto like a Rocketeer or something and actually pulling yourself up to the Rocketeer. I don't know who would ever want to do that, me. But cool thing to happen. I'm definitely going to try that out once I get it. And then just more action scenes. Guys fighting the Bombardier or the Bastion, and some cinematics of the Rocketeers flying in. And then back to where we kind of started the tutorial. And that is pretty much everything I noticed that kind of stood out that I wanted to point out to you guys. Just a quick little, oh no, never mind. Forgot about this guy. How could I forget about that guy? Giant, massive arc. I believe this is in the same place the Queen would be roughly. It looks like it's in the salt flat brine area of the dam. And he's not shooting anything. He's just stompy because he's stomping that poor guy. But that is one big arc. Is this the king? Maybe. I don't know. I saw a graphic floating around on Twitter. Actually, let me grab that real quick. Okay, so I had to reply to this. It's one of the various ARC kind of website or ARC account people, unofficial ARC things. But they shared this. And they called this the Baron. It's not a Baron. And then they said a king. And then they just blew it up bigger and made an emperor, which none of this is real. We don't know what, if you see this or you hear people talking about it, just dismiss it. This is not accurate. If they call this a Baron, that's a separation from what we've seen in the past, or from what we see in the game already. It would be a new Baron, I guess. So the only thing we've heard stuff about is the king. We don't know if this is the king or some other variant thereof. So it'd be kind of interesting. Going to be kind of interesting to see where this is. I'm guessing it's going to show up in his event like the Queen. But yeah, that's going to be pretty difficult to fight. It's bigger than the Queen. It doesn't look like it's a lot bigger, but it's taller, kind of same size, kind of gives me the same size vibes as the Queen though. And then yeah, that's the rest of it. Funny little quip here at the end.
Hey, look at this. They ain't ducks. Come on, Apollo ain't paying enough for this. That's why I was asking for a minigun.
Yeah, it's fun. I like their guys' cinematics. Okay, so that is everything in the launch trailer. So hope you guys go watch it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Get hyped up for it. I'm super excited. Hit like and subscribe if you got something out of the video. Helps me out. Tells YouTube you want to see more of my content. Also, don't forget to go check out arcraiders.pro. We are putting a companion website together with tools for everything for the website. Plan is to launch it all the way, but have it up and running on the 30th to where it's usable for you guys. Right now, it's kind of an alpha state. And as over the days after launch, shuffle all the information into it that we can to get everything updated as far as the items and the crafting and the loadout builder and the maps and all that kind of good stuff. So there's a link down below for that if you need it, arcraiders.pro. We also have a Discord, a community Discord for it, built around it, and a Patreon if you want to support us in the process, but that's totally optional. It's up to you. But that's it. Done yapping. Appreciate you guys watching. I guess we'll see you in Speranza on the 30th. See you, everybody.